Good morning. Hello? You're a robot. You're a robot. You're a robot. Yes, you're a fucking robot. Hi, my name is Lisa. Do not hang up. This is not a sales call. But bitch, you're fucking recording. Like, how are you telling me not to hang up and I'm talking to a damn machine? I hate answering them calls, yo. Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a program response machine. Well, I swear, they don't ever end, bro. And then it's weird because I'm in PA, but I know a couple of people in Virginia. And sometimes it'd be like, numbers look familiar. I'm like, maybe it is somebody calling me from Virginia. Better answer this call. Nope. Telemarketer. Somebody trying to sell you some insurance. Or telling you you owe insurance on a vehicle you don't even own. Like, what the heck? All right, gonna do a couple of things today. Bro, some of my art, well, a lot of my art is old. I have paintings that are years old, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years old, and they've just sat around and got kind of dusty. But in February, I'm going to be at 3 different locations. So today, I plan on cleaning some of my paintings. They look nice from a distance, but when you get up on them, they're just like covered in dust and lint and stuff. And I would hate to put my art on display looking half-assed and tacky like that. So I got to get on that today. I don't know why I can't find my computer charger. Hold on. All right. Hey T, what's up? So what I was saying? All right, got my laptop charger. Let me. Now, let me find out this thing went all the way dead on me. Wow. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I can't get my. I don't know why this laptop won't turn on. Bozy, what a doozy. Jeans? Oh, these are paint jeans. Ain't not going on. These shits is still work clothes. Ain't nothing special about these jeans. Shirt. That shit all painted up. Ain't nothing going on but some paint. Alright, son of a bitch. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright, it's loading up. good time. Be right back, guys. I got two chargers right here. I don't think that. I don't think that's the right one. Alright, that's bullshit. Okay. Had to give a art class last night on the basics of the basic principles of art, or the basic elements of art, which was pretty good. Had like 7 students in the class. Everybody said they wanted to come back for another class. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. So we did we went over the basic elements of art, took notes on that. Then we did a worksheet on color scale and value, and went over that. And then we did a blind contour drawing, went over that. And afterwards we just talked about some different artists that help influence me. And for me to make an attempt to get the students aware of different artists, especially black artists. So that was nice. I love the smell of kush smoke in the morning. Bozy, what's the flavor of the day? Yeah, this is probably the first and last time I ever shaved. I've never, since I've grown a mustache when I was like 16, 17, I've never shaved my mustache off. So just try something different, and I fucking hate it. I don't know, when some guys shave, it kind of makes them look younger, but it just makes me look like an old man who just shaved. It's fucking weird, so I won't be doing that again. I don't think so. I don't know. Black cherry. Damn. I want some black cherry. This one got fruits. He got berries. You know what I'm saying? With a slightly citrusy aftertaste. I want to smoke some berries. Jesus, man, it's black cherry, baby. It's like cherry wine, except in a smokable form. That shit looks awkward. I feel like I got the chimpanzee orangutan mouth going on right here. some tangy Kush. Has a little bit of some lemon zest to it. You know, it tastes like some lemon zest right at the back of your throat, right here. Well, I got me some No Name in between. Some No Name in between. Yeah, it works. What you smoking? Some weed, motherfucker. Shit, goddamn. I got some of that grape ape. I got some of that Frankenstein. I got that new Taliban. I don't give a fuck what you call that shit, man. Just give me a quarter, man. God damn. Yo, I got the silver reindeer. You ever heard of White Widow? It's like that, but silver. I got that Ashton Kutcher pumpkin patch. Like what? That don't even make any sense. Let me try some of that though. Let me get a bud of that Ashton Kutcher. Let me see. Yeah, that shit nice. To my that train wreck. God, I don't want none of that. I don't want to partake in that if it's gonna make me feel like I was in a collision with a train, like a locomotive. Bruh, that seems kind of intense. You know, some zesty Kush, some black cherry. That sounds appetizing. This motherfucker say, I got that train wreck. What? Hold up, bruh. Do I need a neck brace? Do I need to wear my harness? I gotta put a harness on if I hit this thing? Shit. Jesus Christ. Do I need to be standing or sitting? I might have to lay down. I just want to be laying flat before I hit that thing if I'm gonna feel like a train wreck. Shaman. Hey, yo. Shaman, what's up? Man, what the number of your job, man? Let me talk to your manager. Yo, Shaman one of the best employees you got, bro. He one of the best employees. You need to get this man a raise. He can do all his work in a timely, orderly fashion, complete all his daily tasks, and still have enough time to sit around and get some art and education. Art and education on the job. See, these are the type of people that need promotions. This man should be utilized to the maximum of his capacity in order to help push this business to the next level. You don't have other employees who can do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't. Wait, look, I'm gonna have to sit on the board of directors. We're gonna call a meeting. Things got to change around here. Some shit gonna have to change. Bacon bits. Yeah, put that brace on, homie. Put that back brace. Strap that shit tight. Get that neck brace on so my neck don't be swiveling. I ain't want my neck to swivel. Yo, New Wave. Hey. My mans. Yo, New Wave Dance Studios is actually where I gave an art class last night on the basic elements of art. And my homie Rashida is such an awesome person, yo. So she's been running her facility for a couple years, giving the kids motivation, inspiration, dedication, and helping them become, well-rounded young adults. And she does all types of dance, tech classes, science classes. She's trying to expand on some art classes and bring me into her fold, which I am highly grateful of for her even wanting me to be a part of what she's built, And so I think this is going to be a really good friendship, a really good partnership, a merger, whatever you want to call it, into the future, because her goals are very, very much in line with what I'm trying to achieve. And so if you want to do something positive in your life, you got to be around positive people. That's the only way it's going to work. You are the sum of the 5 people you are around the most. If you're around 5 crackheads 6 days out the week, you probably a crackhead. If you hang around 5 lawyers 6 days out the week, you probably a lawyer. Or something akin to it. Or something that looks very similar to it. So you are a combination of the 5 people you hang around and converse with the most. You want to do positive stuff, hang around positive people. You hang around these slackers and flunkies and no ambition type people, then you're not going to achieve your goals no matter how much drive you have, because you're still putting your energy and sharing your energy with people who don't have drive. They just sucking everything out of you. So you got to always stay around motivated people if you trying to do anything. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do anything. So in the past couple of years, I have just been aligning myself with productive, business-minded people. I'm not the business guy. I'm just not. I'm not the numbers guy. I don't like math. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not as organized as people assume I am sometimes. So in order for me to pick up better habits, to pick up good habits, to learn better skills, I hang around business people who run businesses, who got their shit together. And it's like I'm in school right now. I take business classes by talking to business people. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. You can't hang with chickens if you expect to soar with eagles. What? Oh boy. You hang around chickens, you probably a chicken. And you know what? Hey, chickens can't fly, but so far. And they give out. When them eagles, motherfucker, hit that flap, and then they like this. And they just soar, boy. Motherfucker just ride that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Chickens can't do that. You gotta hang around eagles if you gonna soar like an eagle. That is hot, yo. I know y'all watching, cause y'all just weird. Y'all who do this right here, huh? Who wake up in the morning and watch some dude paint? Y'all some weird motherfuckers, bro. I tell you the truth. That's why we watching y'all. No, cause you weird, man. Damn. These motherfuckers want to learn. They wake up trying to learn some stuff. Who in the hell do that? The people I hang around. I say, y'all can't even really explain this to people. What you do this morning? I watched my homie on YouTube. He just be talking and painting. He's like, what? he do what? So, yes. So, I talked to another artist, and she actually does restoration of paintings, and she's been doing it for a long time. And before I went to YouTube University and just asked simple questions: how to clean an oil painting, how to clean lint and dust, from an oil painting. And there's several videos and people said some things and they said, oh, do it this way and do it this way. You can buy this product and this right here. I was like, yeah, they sound like they're knowledgeable. But I know somebody personally who does. I was like, let me call my homie and see what she say. Yo, I got some paintings and they got, especially the ones that have really dark or black backgrounds, like up close you can just see lint. It looks like a fuzzball. How do I get it off? I said I took my dust brush and I tried to dust it, but yo, that lint won't come off. She was like, yo, get you some warm water. Get you about a gallon of warm water and put a couple of drops of soap in it, dish detergent, and get you a little brush and scrub that shit off of there and get you she said a sponge or a microfiber cloth and just wipe the water off. I was like, you just wash it? She's like, you just wash it, yo. Just wash it, just delicately. Don't try to scratch it. But she's like, it's oil paint. You ain't gonna fuck that oil paint up, it's oils. I was like, yeah, you're right. She's like, soap and water. So that's what we're gonna try today. And see, I'm crossing everything. Cross my legs. Let's try this and see if I can wash a painting. This is gonna be something. So I'm so nervous. I think I pulled one out that I want to try because once again I'll be in 3 different locations in February, so I have to have umpteen paintings ready. All of my stuff is ready and wired and hung, but like some of them, 2 locations I've never been in before, so I can show some of my older works that have hung in different locations but hasn't hung in this location, which is perfect because I try not to hang the same paintings in the same location twice. You know what I'm saying? And so far I've been able to keep that little flow, and that's why I think that's what gives me most of the recognition locally, is because every time I'm at an event, I show new art. I show something new that people ain't seen. So I try to keep that going. But like I said, in the past couple months, I've slowed down a lot due to the fact that I was moving and doing a lot of work on the house. So I missed a couple of months where I could have produced 2 more new pieces of art. But I have tons of paintings. So like I said, these venues, I've never been there before. So I feel comfortable showing some of my older material because it's still strong and impactful. It's just been sitting around for so long that they're dusty now. And it's like, that's the main thing that about my art is I just wanted to have a home. I love my art, but I want them to have a home. I want somebody else to clean these motherfuckers and take care of them and appreciate them and enjoy them as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but until then, they're just kind of, stockpiled up, just literally collecting dust. And that shit breaks my heart sometimes. But I already know, when I really make that big break, my shit is it's gonna fly off the shelves, and I'm not gonna have enough. I'm not gonna have enough art. I can see that day coming where I won't have enough. Like right now, I have enough art to be at 3 locations plus. I can probably be at 5 locations with anywhere from 6 to 7 pieces at 5 different locations and still have some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I do this, but I feel like I better keep doing it. Because when it hit the fan, and I ain't gonna be able to keep up with the demands one day. So for right now, it's all cool. I'm gonna try to like I said, this piece is finished and photographed. I didn't post it to social media yet because the first set of pictures I took, I really didn't like them for some reason. I tried to crop them. I really don't put filters or anything on my pictures when I take them. I want people to see them as close to natural as you can. You'll never get the real thing. Tell them, Shaman, you just can't. Shaman got a painting, and it's different when you hold it in your hands and look at it, you know, like in person. You can never see that through the camera. So like when I post my pictures, I try not to manipulate them at all, really. Um, Sometimes I may um, mess with the exposure and the contrast, and that's just because it's on my iPhone and it's not the best camera. I should take pictures with my Nikon or my Canon, but then you got to take the picture from the camera, and then the chip from the camera to the laptop, and then from the laptop to the social media and all that stuff. Whereas if it's on your phone, you just take it and then you can post it to everything immediately from your phone. So it just makes it so easy. And I know it's a bad habit. I should always photograph my art with a real camera. But let's see. I took another picture this morning, and it's better than the last one. I angled the canvas sideways to the light and got a little bit better results from it. Let me see if I can do something with the contrast. Yeah. A little bit. Alright. So this one isn't too bad. I think I'll just post this real quick to, if I post it on Instagram, it'll go to my Instagram and my art Facebook page. No filters. Boom, just posted that. Where did I store the old ones? Before I moved here, I actually had a lot of stuff in my basement, yo. I had a lot of paintings in the basement. And my studio had a lot of paintings just crammed in the studio with me. And there was like a spot in my living room where I had just like a big ass stack of paintings just leaning against the wall. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have a designated area, like a designated storage area. And honestly, that was one of the main reasons for me purchasing this house, is because I needed more space for my studio. So uh, this third floor is, like I said, it's two rooms on this third floor right here. So I have this room for work, for my workspace. I got a few paintings in here, but this one's drying. No, that's dry. The one on the easel is drying, just got done. And the one leaning on the easel is the one I'm going to work on next. So, you know, I'm not crammed in here with dozens of paintings. I don't have, and even my blank canvases. There are no blank canvases in here. I can store all of that across the hall. So it's just workspace. I feel like I have room in here. You know, I don't feel so stuffy and confined. Uh, Not the paintings, but I have homeowners insurance, so all of my property is insured. Somebody told me before to like insure each painting, but I don't know. It's like cost wise, it seems really expensive. I have like tons of art, and I don't know. It is something that I always think about. Like I was telling the students last night, one of my favorite artists, he was on vacation all the way away from home, and he gets a phone call from the guy who owns the building that his studio is in, and he said the whole building burnt down, and it was multiple businesses. I think there was a hair salon next to that, and something else, and but he had a big unit that was his studio workspace, and he said the whole thing burnt down. He lost nine paintings, and three of them were already paid for. And it was like, what? So how do he was like, with all of his work and his materials and supplies, he lost $100,000 in that fire. But it's that happened like early last year, and so I was like, how do you recoup from that? You know what I'm saying? Like the building, it was some kind of just random electrical spark that just it wasn't no malice or nothing. It was just like one of those things, the building just caught fire, And so how do you recoup from your losses of your art? So that always made me think, like, after that, and so I was reading the story, and I'm like, oh crap, what if my house catch on fire and I got all my art in here, and like my stuff is like how I price it. There's a couple $1,000s worth of art in here, uh, so yeah, I'm not. I don't have. Um, I don't have my name trademark yet. So there's still, like, once again, that's why I hang around business people, and because I know there are things that I need to do before I really start taking bigger and bigger leaps. But trademarking or copyrighting my name or something, like, 100, bro. He said with his work and all his supplies and everything, bro, 100. He's like, he's like, that's on the low end. I probably lost $100,000 worth of stuff, Like I say, bro, his paintings are 36,000, bro. 30. I seen a drawing he did, a drawing about, like, it's on paper. You know what I'm saying? And New Way, she pointed it out. It was one of the sketches, and it looks like it's a real simple sketch, and it's like coffee stains. It's looked like the paper is stained, but how he did it is dope. But it's just paper and a quick sketch with a little bit of color to it, and it's like those things are like $2,600, like $2,600 just for one of his drawings. Bro, it was like when I went to the show, like I was looking at the prices. I'm like, oh, and they sell and they sell, and they sell. So if he lost three paintings and he averaged, at least 30 grand, anywhere from 25 to $30,000 per painting, just the paintings that he sold alone, that's like close to the hundred. It's like, Jesus, dude. I can't even imagine, bro. I can't even imagine. So, yeah, that's why my first thing, homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance, flood insurance. Because whatever I lose in the fight, bro, I need to get that back, bro. That's too. But I got years of shit, Like I can't even imagine. I don't even want to think about this shit anymore. Damn. Oh, thank you. Yo, my man Lewis. What's up, bro? How's it going? What I was gonna do? Do I have any waters in here? I don't have any waters, so I need to go grab a couple waters. I need to go get some warm soapy water. So what she told me to do was, she said you need to find a brush, like a soft brush but a stiff brush, which means a medium brush, but not really medium, but more on the soft side than the medium, but not too soft. And I was like, what? And she's like, you know the brushes that barbers use? She's like, that's what I use. I was like, a beard brush? She was like, yeah. So I got clean shaven, right? And then went and brought a beard brush. The irony of it all. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. You gonna brush your beard? Bro, I ain't got no beard. I'm about to brush a painting. You gonna do what? That's why I don't even tell people what I be doing sometimes. I get that sideways look like, this nigga crazy. Ooh. Come back, goatee, please. I'm so sorry, goatee. I won't do it no more. I promise. Please come back. But I was in the bathroom straining, like, trying to, like, caught a little headache and stuff. Like, I thought about buying some beard oil while I was getting this. Like, yo, what do I have to do? Please, just hurry up. Hurry up and come back. Damn it. I shouldn't have did that. Jesus Christ. Talk to you later, yo. So we're going to use this in some warm, soapy water to try to get that lint off. And then use one of these to sop up the lint water. Smells yellow. All right, we're gonna see how that. Wait a minute. There isn't anything on here, is it? That shit feels like. I want to make sure there isn't any kind of solutions or extra soaps on this sponge already. Alright, we got the brush, we got some sponge. All we need is some warm soapy water. And I need a couple of bottles of water to put in the fridge up here because I'm pretty thirsty. So guys, like I said, I'm on the 3rd floor. I gotta run all the way downstairs. Let me go do that, and we'll be back. Let's see.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrency.
That's some high quality H2O. Alright, please don't let this fuck up my painting, man. So, ooh, got that gas in that diesel. That gas in that diesel. Got that gas in that diesel. What you want? You want unleaded, regular, super, or you want diesel?
I've never seen anything like this.
Who am I?
She's the last of her kind.
Fine.
My engine can't take diesel. Get the fuck out of here then. You with the dualies, come fill up. Bro, I'm so nervous right now. Got that gas in that diesel, oh. I got that gas in that diesel, oh. I got that gas in that diesel, oh. I smoke it, I smoke it, I smoke it, I smoke it when that shit real lethal, oh. Yeah, I got that gas in that diesel, oh. I got that gas in that diesel, oh. And I'm smoking on that lethal. Early in the morning, chilling with my people. And we all know we equal. Yes, gas and diesel. Give me that good fuel. Yeah, put me in a good mood. Yeah, and then I butt kick like a mule. Man, just look at this. I'm about to clean this painting and take the risk. So just sit back and learn. Yeah. And that's my concern, and that's my concern. Get it straight like a perm. What, you old big perm? I mean, big worm. That's the big sherm. Don't smoke that, man. That's the fucking germ. I'm on that gas in that diesel. Ooh, I'm on that gas in that diesel. Ooh, I'm on that gas in that diesel. I smoke it, and that shit is lethal. Ooh, yeah, I'm on that gas in that diesel. Ooh, man, I'm on that gas in that diesel. Ooh, I'm on that gas in that diesel. I smoke it, and that shit lethal. Ooh, man, gas and diesel. Yeah, I'm on that gas and diesel, and you can't even ask D1. Yeah, you know how we smoke these B1s? I really need one. I lost my pipe, man. I'm looking for my joke at the same time. I lost my pipe, son. And then the grinder. Yeah, and let's intertwine, cause we got the, what they say? smoking on that chain wrecking some black cherry. Man, that shit sound very scary. I need a neck brace, man. I need it in a hurry, cause that's more than gas and diesel, man. And you can ask D1. say he's smoking on that train wreck. And that's more than that gas and diesel. You can ask my man D1. Alright, just trying to get set up for the next round because I'm about to get started. Let me get everything. Let's get that commercial. I'm coming. I know I've been up and down the stairs. Jesus, bro. I just wanna do something. Let me get some stuff done. Alright, so she said that's less than a gallon of water. This is about a liter. So I'm gonna put some soap in here. We got that good old Mr. Clean. This says multi-purpose cleaner. So this ain't just dish detergent. That shit smell bubbly, son. Yo, y'all see that? That's like, it's dusty as hell, yo. Read a book, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be washing some paintings this morning. Boy, I'm about to act an anus. I just learned how to wash my painting. Oh, yeah, I'm about to be the greatest. Yeah, boy, I'm about to act an anus. I just learned how to wash my painting. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be the greatest. Ooh, hey. Boy, I'm about to act an anus. I just learned how to wash my painting. And you know I'm about to be the greatest. Hey, hey, ooh. Boy, I'm about to act an anus. I just learned how to wash my painting. And you know I'm about to be the greatest. Yo, and you know I'm about to be the greatest. I just learned how to wash a paint. You know I'm about to be the greatest.
.6 degrees, your body temperature. Tempur-Pedic is the only mattress material designed to react to precisely that. It keeps working throughout the night, relieving pressure like no other mattress can, so you won't toss and turn. For deeper, more
Oh my
energizing
God,
sleep.
did I just sit through that whole thing? Jeez. Temper Posturepedic. What? Hey, get the fuck out of here, Jude. Nobody ain't buying your mattresses, man. Yeah. Back to the basics. Oh, snap. Uh, uh, Oh, shit.
Purchase your tracks today.
Yo.
Look at you. The power of the stock market in the palm of your hand. And you notice the details. You always did things your way. You never were a fan of advice from strangers. Why should investing be any different? Robinhood is investing your way.
This shit right here. This is the new.
Purchase all tracks today.
Bruh. Now they still a little bit on there. But damn, that shit got the hell of it off, yo. Yeah, I feel more comfortable showing it like that now. That's a major difference.
Purchase all tracks today.
Oh, you know we stay with them beats. You know we stay with them beats. Smooth, what up? Yeah. Let's ride, homie. Let's ride, homie. Juice danger, that's my homie. Get me mad, that's deuce anger, you die, homie. Fuck that, you frontin'. If you ever try, homie, don't make me call my man. 0420, that shaman in, you know how we roll. Let's boy, let it go, like oh. Off of that one paint, and you see how cloudy that water is, yo? That's crazy. Let me go dump this water real quick. I might try to do like two more of these things. Cause this series right here, this was a 3-part series. I know for a fact I'm gonna put this one out. I'm actually not sure like what other ones I need to clean. I need to go through my stock and see exactly what I'm gonna put where. Let me go dump this water out, and I'm gonna grab some more paintings, and I'll be right back.
Purchase your tracks today.
Look at you. You do things your way, with the power of the stock market in the palm of your hand. You do your own
So I look at you. Who is you? Man, I go all the way downstairs and then grab a snack or nothing. Man, I don't know what I'm thinking, yo. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that thing looks so different, yo. Let's see if I can do a comparison real quick.
Be young.
This one don't look like it was as bad as that first one. That's why I picked that one to start with. That one looked real bad. Yeah, but this one don't look as bad as that. I need to check the dates and see. I need to start dating these things. I don't even know how old these paintings are. I know they're at least like 2 years old, almost 3 years old, maybe. These paintings like 3 years old now. So that's the first one I just did.
Root saves safe drivers up to $100 a month on car insurance. They're giving you a rate-based price.
What's up, Mike? Tom Segura's in the house for a
man?
few minutes here too.
Yeah,
Stop
man.
by to say hi. I can't believe you've never had a cup of coffee.
Never.
You want some?
No.
That might be
No.
that might be the most outrageous thing about you.
Yeah.
Is that you've never had coffee.
Your whole life,
Never
you've never had coffee.
No.
Did you just?
Tea, never coffee.
No one ever offered you a cup of coffee?
No.
You never went to Starbucks?
Never. Not for tea or some donut.
Wow.
What about like
It's weird, right? Like Cormier is the champ because John Jones tested positive for something, so they stripped him, and then Cormier became the champ. It's I think they'll probably fight again, whether they fight again at heavyweight or light heavyweight.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cormier and John Jones. If Cormier wants to, if he wants to keep going. He says he wants to retire soon. He's 40,
Yeah.
He still looks good though.
He looks great, especially at heavyweight.
Yeah.
At heavyweight, he doesn't have to cut weight. He's got so much strength and just so agile. He's such an unbelievable wrestler too. I mean, his wrestling skill, his skill level and understanding of wrestling is so high, so above most people.
Anybody fight outside of John Jones, he dominated.
Yeah, that's how good John is. John's that good. He's that. I mean, it just sucks that he's had so many controversies in his life, but I'm hoping he puts all that shit behind him. Have you ever spoken with him about that?
Yeah, it's never about his personal life or anything, but we met before and talked.
You're a guy who's gone. I mean, when you went through legal problems yourself, you overcame. You came out of it on the other end. I would think a guy like him could benefit a lot from
Yeah,
talking
but
to a guy.
so it's just so difficult and it's so unfortunate that he has to go do something like
Yeah.
that.
Do you think so?
Yes, it's really unfortunate. Because sometimes people they don't survive situations like that
Because they're so wild and they're having a good time too much and they're partying into the champ.
It has to come to an end. That stuff. If you don't bring it to an end, it's gonna come to its own end. It might not like that way it ends.
Yeah. So you think for a guy like him, maybe getting in trouble was a good thing?
If only if you learn from experiences like that.
Yeah. I think
I was just a wild guy. I was really a wild guy. I look at myself now and I say to myself, when I spent all those trips in those psych wards and stuff, I said, what was that all about? What was wrong with me back then? you know?
Yeah.
And I was really disturbed back then.
About everything. What made you think you could get a tiger? Like, how did that even happen?
Hey, I'm in, this is really interesting. I'm in prison at the time. So I'm in prison, I'm talking to my car dealer at the time, and he has some cars that belong to a friend of mine that's both a friend of ours, and he's discussing if he doesn't pay for these cars, I'm gonna sell these cars to somebody and get some horses and stuff. I said, what, you can get horses? And trade horses in for cars? Because I had a lot of cars. I thought I'd probably get some horses too. And he said, yeah, man, you get cougars, lions, tigers. I know this guy got excited. I said, you do? Can you give me some tigers? He said, yeah. And the guy told me, man, imagine how cool that'd be. Because I had a bunch of fancy cars. Imagine that, man, you be in an Aston Martin or a Ferrari, you have a tiger right next to you, man. And I'm a young guy, I'm saying to myself, wow, that would be cool, right? I said, yeah, give me some cubs, man. And then when I came home, I had those cubs right there waiting for me.
So you raised them as cubs?
Yeah.
That's how you were, because I would see footage of you, like, fucking smacking them around and jumping on one of your tigers, and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, no, I had them since they were babies. I had their mothers.
Wow.
Since they were babies.
Now, it never gets. This is a crazy picture. You in your underwear with a tiger on a chain. That is one of the.
That's the chance right there.
That's you at peak crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Tom, what was going through my mind? I don't know what made me think about. My friend said, Mike, you can get some awesome animals. And I said, really? Are you serious? He said, really? I'm gonna get some horses.
Everybody does it though. Those are one of the things about what's his face from Narcos.
Oh, Pablo Escobar. He got like a fucking zoo.
Yeah.
Escobar had a whole crazy zoo. They all do it.
Once you get like that rich, you're like, just get some animals.
Yeah, you want to fuck with some animals. Get some animals. Fuck these people, get some animals. And they throw people in there with the lions and tigers, huh?
Yeah.
Get in there, you motherfucker.
It's a real common thing.
That
like
is.
super rich people. They start getting lions and tigers and shit.
Michael Jackson had all that stuff
That's
too.
right. Michael Jackson. Oh, by the way, did you buy 7 Bentleys that were the same color?
No, but I put around 7 Bentleys before.
Damn.
They're Rolls Royces.
I wanted to ask.
You did give away one when you crashed it, right?
Yeah, let me tell you that story. I wish I had some time. I was married at the time to Robin Givens, and we were in some fast food chain. We were ordering food, and she went in my pocket, I guess, to get some money out of my pocket to pay for it. She had some condoms came out, and she was mad, so she got in the car. And then, boom, she crashed the car into another car that was just parked there. Boom, and she hit somebody, and she hurt their arm. And then the cops came. And so the cops came, and the cops were saying, hey, what happened here? Right? And I was afraid that they were arresting me or arrest me. So I said, well, nothing happened, officer. Nothing. He said, and it was a guy with a broken arm. I said, sir, why don't you just take the car? You deserve it because you've been through a lot. Because I didn't want to get arrested. I didn't have license or anything. And I didn't want my wife to get in trouble. I said, why don't you just take it? It was around 230 at the time. So why don't you just take it? It'll be okay. And the guy said, hey, don't tell me that. And then once he said that, I said, got him. I said, I got him. And I said, hey, man, take it, man. Do this, man. You deserve this. Take it. And they took it. But before that, some guy arm was broken, and I gave him my money. I said, I'll take the money. And then he came back to the police. He said, my arm is broken. The cop said, no, get away from me. I'm not going to tell you to get away from me no more. Because he didn't want to mess this deal up with his car, because the guy complained he's not going to get his car.
That's hilarious.
So the cop said, don't fucking come near me again.
That is hilarious.
So the guy just backed off, and I said, hey, go ahead, man. I'll see you later. And I took off with my wife. I didn't want us to get in trouble.
But they made him give away the car, right? They made him.
Because I went back to my office and I said, give me my fucking car back. I went to the
Really?
Yeah. He got fired.
He did?
Yeah. He's probably hearing this next time. I'm going to get that bastard type thing.
So you gave it to him.
I wanted my Indian gift. I wanted my car back.
Oh no! You imagine Mike Tyson calls you up and says, "Give me my fucking car."
Man.
Like shit!
Yeah, it's outside, man. I got it.
God damn it!
You guys know I embarked on the marijuana business.
Yes.
Cannabis business, right?
This beautiful box that you
That
gave.
is a
Thank you so
beautiful
much for
box,
that.
by the way.
Tyson Ranch.
So awesome. Thank you, man, for accepting.
My pleasure. When did you start regularly smoking weed?
Since I was like 10 years old.
The whole time you were fighting, you were regularly smoking weed?
Well, when you're a kid, your mother gives you liquor and marijuana so you think that you're going to go to sleep or something, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That never happened in my house.
No, yeah.
No.
My mother was alcoholic and stuff.
That's
What, man?
liquor and marijuana. See if you go to sleep.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you what benefits do you get out of marijuana? Like, what does it do for you?
Hey man, if I didn't, I'd have a bad day. Yeah, I'm a really moody guy without it. And it just it smooths me out. As soon as I take it, I'm a whole different person. I'm really on top of my game. I'm balling.
Yeah, I feel the same way sometimes. It makes me nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, calms me down. Do you
And I like who I am when I smoke. You know what I mean? When I weed, I don't sometimes like who I am sometimes. That's just the real sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. I want to get away from that guy. Maybe with the toad?
Yeah, what you're talking about is 5-methoxy
Oh, that's it right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And I came across that, and I smoked this, I don't know, this medicine, drug, whatever you want to call it and stuff. And I've never been the same. I look at life different. I look at people differently. And the experience I can't even express, really. It's almost like dying and being reborn.
Yeah, I had the exact same experience. That's what it felt like to me, too. Like you stop existing. The 5-methoxys, there's two...
Tell me, what's the deal with that? What the hell's going on here?
5-methoxy is produced by your brain, but what it is it's DMT with an oxygen molecule attached to it. So regular DMT is N-dimethyltryptamine, and then 5-methoxy dimethyltryptamine is DMT with like there's a very subtle change to the molecule, and that subtle change, for some reason, takes away the visuals. You've done regular DMT too, right?
Yeah.
Regular DMT is rich with visuals, very strange, bright, colorful, impossible to describe visuals.
It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable is the best way to put it.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. But we're all the same. We're all part of this weird, crazy, gigantic organism. That's the human race.
You know, so odd that you said it. My mentor, Customato, his objective was to think of nothing. You're nothing. Nothing's nothing but the objective, the job, and that was his psychological warfare. You know, nothing matters. You're nothing. The only thing that matters is the objective, and getting to accomplishing that objective by going through these methods of boxing.
Do you ever stop and think about how fortunate it was you ran into that guy?
Listen, to this day, I really don't understand that. I said, how did this happen?
Because so many people...
Listen, by the time I was born, he was 66 years old by the time I was born.
Yeah, crazy. So many people could, Can't
even explain it. It's a magnificent individual.
He was an amazing guy. An amazing part of boxing, and with a unprecedented grasp of the mindset required for combat sports. That was the thing that always really stood out about him. Like, he was a guy that was so well versed in the mindset. I would listen to his speeches that he would talk, when he would talk about you, and he would talk about boxing, he would talk about fear. And about fear can be like a fire, it can cook your food, or it can burn your house down. And you have to control it. And when he would describe it, like, it would be so enlightening. He was such a man of wisdom that when he would describe things, they would sink in. They would. Somebody could say the same thing, but with him, he had so much life.
He wore so many hats. He was a psychiatrist. Yeah. He was a doctor. He was a father. He was a mother. You know, he was just all around that individual.
Yeah, and with an amazing knowledge of boxing. And for a guy like you, it was almost like it was ordained.
And that's what I always said. It was meant for me to meet this guy. Because I had no way in a million years. Everybody said, no way you're going to be champion. You're too small.
Yeah.
So you're too short. No way. These guys are too big for you. He goes, this is the greatest fight I ever lived. This and this. The only thing that's about me. I'm like, oh, God, this guy's just super me up. I never thought I could, achieve what he was saying. The things he was saying was just so gigantic in my eyes at the time. And you know what else Customato used to do with me? He used to take me to a hypnotist. He was a hypnotist as well. Yeah, they used to go into the hypnotist motions.
What kind of shit did they make you do?
You know,
how they do it?
You relax, you go under, you totally focus on blackness, nothingness.
Right.
You go under and you're just being the savage, intelligent animal. You're just working. You're going to do this. You're going to be a ferocious animal. You're going to fight, put both hands to the body. You'll use your jab. You're going to do this in a ferocious fashion. And they seeked all that in me as I was younger.
And you were like 12, 13 years old? Wow. So they're putting you under and just teaching you that mindset.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did he give you any advice on how to shut it off?
No. No.
He's probably like, I don't have any time. He's probably like, I don't have any time. The kid's 13. How old was Gus at the time?
He's like 70.
So shit, there's no time. There's no
Yeah.
time. I'm not going to teach him the off switch. Just hit the gas.
That's what it was, the gas. We gotta
Yeah.
destroy these guys. These guys are in our way of, greatness, glory.
It's one because your that was the other thing too. Your style, the way you would come out, was so reminiscent of old fighters. When you come out with no socks on, black
I was
shoes.
wild. I was thinking, my mind was thinking it was all about Gladiator and being
Yeah.
tough. And I was never thinking, I look at it now, so look at that silly little kid. What's that silly kid think he's tough? I don't think this guy thinks he's tough.
Well, you were tough, man. I know what you're saying. But you were. When you fought Marvis Frazier on, what is that, ABC Wild
Yeah,
Sports?
remember those days? ABC had fights?
I remember watching that fight going, holy shit. Holy shit. That was like being locked into a ring with a tornado.
That was wild days. I thought I was a tough kid.
That was your peak. That was when it was peak scary. You were coming up and everybody was just terrified. It was just a wild thing to watch, man. To be a part of it, to be you.
Yeah, I wanted to make my mentor real happy, though. That was my main goal in fighting.
It's a powerful goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
But when you did retire, and when you retired in the ring, that was the most honest retirement speech I've ever heard a boxer give ever. He's just like, I don't have this in me anymore.
No, this wasn't there anymore. That was pretty bizarre for myself, because this is what I based my life on doing. When I first started doing it, I said I'm gonna dedicate my life to this stuff.
All right, I'm gonna change this order out
See
one
that
more
it's
time.
not even, it's no longer gonna happen. It's pretty weird.
When did you know that you didn't want to do it anymore?
I've known years before that, but I was still being very successful.
Yeah. Like when? Like what year? Like, do you remember around when you started thinking it?
I remember. Probably around, the 2000 area?
So by the time, that's post Holyfield?
Yeah, after
Yeah.
Holyfield.
And you had done too much.
I was just winning them,
Yeah.
winning, beating guys. Guys get hit or something, and some guys be so scared.
Yeah.
You guys, boxing for when you have nothing.
Yeah.
When you do boxing when you just had nothing, because that's a lot of dedication, that's a lot of pain, that's a lot of aggravation, a lot of, it really is discovering who you are.
But you must be able to take pride in the fact that your children don't ever have to do that.
Oh, and that's why I took the punches so they wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I had my eldest son at 16, he wanted to be a boxer.
I saw you working with him.
Yeah, I said, get out of here. You ain't no fighter. Get out of here. You stupid. You got to private school. You ain't be a boxer and stuff. Oh. You travel to European trips. You did trips and all stuff, vacation. You want to be a fighter? Get out of here. You're a joke, man. You're a joke, man. And he's really serious. Look, he's serious, man. I don't want nobody. What you gonna do? Fight some guy like me?
Yeah.
An animal? I don't want my kids to go through that crap.
Yeah.
That's degrading. Some guy like that beating on you.
I saw a video of you hitting the bag recently. It was like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You still hit the bag? You
No,
still throw some bombs?
I do probably for the camera and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what you're doing. But I'm like, damn, you can still move. You still have it in you, right?
I don't know.
But it's in your body.
It has to be. I don't want nothing to do that.
Does it
stuff
feel
again.
weird? But what I was going to get to, if you are standing in front of that heavy bag and you start rattling off combinations, and you start thinking like, oh shit, I'm actually Mike Tyson. Like I was that guy. I am that guy who went through that. I am the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. I am that guy that destroyed Tyrell Biggs. I am that guy that knocked out Larry Holmes. I'm that guy.
I look at that guy. I look at that guy as somebody that's giving me a platform to help me forget about that guy.
Wow. Yeah. It's beautiful that you have that mindset. It is, because most people who've accomplished as much as you have, they don't want to ever let the past go.
Oh shit! Let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
But do you recognize that that's a beautiful part of your personality? You had one of the most successful boxing careers ever, but you don't want nothing to do with it. You don't want to. You want to acknowledge it exists. You wish it went away.
In order to arrive to that next chapter in life, you have to forget the chapter that came before you.
Yeah.
And focus on the chapter ahead of you.
Yes. Yes. That's a great lesson.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and I wish I could tell you how I feel about it more than like this, and that in
3, 2, 1. Boom, and we're live.
What's happening, Joe?
What's up, Mike? Tom Segura's in the house for a few minutes here, too.
Yeah,
Stop by to say hi. I can't believe you never had a cup of coffee.
Never.
You want some?
No.
That might be the most outrageous thing about you, is that you've never had coffee.
Your whole life,
Never
you never had coffee.
No.
Did you just...
Tea, never coffee.
No one ever offered you a cup of coffee?
No.
Yo, my nose is so stuffy right now.
Boyko reporting to us there from the Thames. So what's the next big thing, by the way? It's called 5G. Have you heard of it? Everybody's talking about it. Frankly, I'm not the techiest guy in the world, so I actually had to Google it this afternoon to find out more about what 5G, what is 5G? So I looked at Wikipedia, and here's what I found out that Wikipedia says. 5G, according to Wikipedia, is the latest generation of cellular communications targeting high data rates, reduced latency, energy savings, cost reductions, higher system capacity, and massive connectivity. There you go. A bunch of big words that may mean something to you, maybe not. But it does sound impressive, right? Who wouldn't want all of that? Well, some might ask, there's got to be a catch. So joining us now is our correspondent, Michelle Greenstein, with the latest on 5G. And I guess the question would be that, here's the setup, ba-dum-bum, is there a catch?
There is, just a small one. It might kill you.
Good to know.
So you'll find...
How so?
Well, a few days ago, actually, a group of scientists, doctors, environmental organizers, and concerned citizens got together, and they stopped the deployment of 5G. They said that it's been proven harmful to human bodies, that this is an experiment on humanity, and that this should be called a crime under international law. Let's talk about today's technology, what we have going on today. Your phone is constantly sending electromagnetic fields in and out of each other. Whether or not you're receiving a notification right now, all of our digital tech sends this data back and forth, right, using these invisible microwave radiation signals, aka radio frequency radiation. That's today's tech. We have every cell tower, every router constantly pulsing with radiation, whether or not you're using it. Science shows that this causes DNA damage, cancer, among other things. But don't take my word for it.
And that's just with 4G.
That's just with today's technology.
Before we get to 5G, right now you got some of it, but not that much.
Let's listen to what Dr. Sharon Goldberg has to say. She's a clinical researcher and an internal medicine physician. This is what she has to say about what we're using today.
Wireless radiation has biological effects, period. This is no longer a subject for debate when you look at PubMed and the peer-reviewed literature. These effects are seen in all life forms: plants, animals, insects, microbes. In humans, we have clear evidence of cancer now. There is no question. We have evidence of DNA damage, cardiomyopathy, which is the precursor of congestive heart failure, neuropsychiatric effects.
So if 4G is already doing some of this, and I imagine if somebody walks around all day with their phone next to their head for hours upon end, they might be doing some damage to themselves. But let's get beyond 4G. How much more potentially dangerous will 5G be, and why?
Well, here's what's really dangerous about 5G. I mean, it's being sold to us as super awesome. You know, your toaster can talk to your door lock. It can talk to your self-driving car. Like, you have a thermostat in your home that knows when you're home. You have these smart homes. Like, it just really sold to us as being awesome. But the downside is that with this rollout, it will be impossible to exist in a city or to walk outside without being exposed. There's going to be a cell tower in front of every few houses, and this means that your personal choices, whether or not you personally use a cell phone or hold it 10 inches away from your head, that cannot escape you from your radiation exposure. So let's listen to what Dr. David Carpenter, another public health physician and actually a signatory to this international appeal, had to say. I asked him about the safety testing that's been done with this 5G rollout.
Okay. There's no safety testing with 5G. The reason I think that it's dangerous is that There isn't any specific information to 5G, but we know that radio frequency radiation of 3G and 4G are associated with a whole variety of different human health effects. Everyone is going to be exposed to radio frequency radiation more continuously and at higher intensities. And that's going to cause more human disease.
So if I was your big brother or your dad, and you're being a little younger than me and probably have a little more awareness of this stuff, and I ask you, so when you describe 5G, for those in the audience that maybe don't understand it, it's like this Alexa thing that's being sold to us. It's this thing in our homes where, as you said, our toaster's talking to our phone, and our phone is talking to...
The Internet of Things, right? I mean, if you go online and Google Internet of Things, it's just like utopian
Everything is
vision.
connected, right?
Everything, yeah. It sounds super amazing.
That's what 5G will eventually hope to become.
Exactly.
And you're saying it's too much. It's too omnipresent.
Well, I'm saying that there should at least be a public debate about the health effects. And the fact is, the government is completely not jumping on the ball. I mean, because of the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which says that no state or local government can regulate the placement of any cell towers, regardless of environmental effects.
Right.
That has really laid, there it is right there, that has really laid the groundwork for this toxic infrastructure.
What is that we're looking at? I mean,
this is the Telecommunications Act of 1996.
It's long. Why am I reading it?
This basically says that regardless of health effects, you cannot stop the deployment of 5G infrastructure. And the FCC, you know, which has no health expertise itself, is completely captured by the wireless industry. It's the same playbook that big oil used with climate change or big tobacco with cigarettes. You know, they're really deceiving the public and selling this to us as something that doesn't have a lot of risks. But you know who hasn't been fooled? The insurance companies. They are not selling any product liability policies that cover cell phone radiation because they aren't fooled by these studies. And look, when people find reports, it is. When usually, when you or I go online and find reports about wireless tech to find that it's harmless or that there's no evidence of harm, we're usually looking at industry-sponsored studies.
Yeah. And it's not a question about whether we don't want to move toward new technology. We just want to make sure that that new technology is tested before we put it out there. So good stuff. Hey, Michelle, as usual, good stuff. Thank you. Good report.
Hey, YouTube. Thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.
Look at you. The power of the stock market in the palm of your hand. And you notice the details, the trends, the slight shift in the wind. So after weeks of seeing this and unloading these and restocking those and bagging that and yep, it's on aisle 4. Well, it seems like the right time to put some skin in the game. And Robinhood is right there with you. So you can buy now with no trading fees ever, without even missing your lunch break. Robinhood, welcome to the future of investing.
New threats by President Trump regarding the partial federal government shutdown, now in its 3rd week. The president now says he's willing to let the shutdown last for months or even years.
We told the president we needed the government open. He resisted. In fact, he said he'd keep the government closed for a very long period of time, months or even years.
Major, go ahead. Sure. Mr. President, Senator Schumer came out and said that the meeting from his point of view and Speaker Pelosi's was contentious. He also said, you said in the meeting, this is him quoting you, I just want to check, that the shutdown could go on for months or even a year or longer. Did you say that? And
I did.
I did. Is that your assessment of where we are?
Absolutely, I said that. I don't call it a shutdown. I call it doing what you have to do.
President Trump said that may mean keeping the government closed for months or even years.
If we have to stay out for a very long period of time, we're going to do that.
He dug in on demands for his key campaign promise.
and insisted for the first time that he won't let Congress be the barrier to building a wall.
I may do it, but we could call a national emergency and build it very quickly.
A national emergency would let the president tap Pentagon funds to begin wall construction without congressional approval.
The president also suggested he could build the wall without congressional approval by declaring a national emergency.
The president also said if Democrats in Congress don't give him $5.6 billion for construction of a border wall, he could use emergency powers to divert Pentagon funds for that purpose.
We can call a national emergency because of the security of our country, absolutely. No, we can do it. I haven't done it. I may do it. I may do it.
Even as hundreds of thousands of federal workers fret about missing their next paycheck, Mr. Trump's cabinet secretaries, Vice President Pence, and other senior administration officials are due to receive a roughly $10,000 raise starting tomorrow because of a quirk in the law.
I heard you use the word crisis. I heard you use the word emergency, citing this Post piece. So is this a signal that the president will declare one at some point, perhaps this week?
Well, as he has said, it's something that he's looking at and considering.
I may declare a national emergency dependent on what's going to happen over the next few days.
Right, and on that point, so every year the government pays out billions in tax refunds. What will a delay in returns mean for the greater economy without that money in circulation?
Yeah, I mean, it's $140 billion in February. It's with a B, okay?
Right.
And that's a tremendous amount of money. That could single-handedly, push the country towards a recession if that money is not put into the economy. A lot of people get their tax refunds and go immediately spend it on something, or they pay down their credit card. This money gets pumped back into the economy quickly, and we've never had a situation before where this just doesn't happen.
You use the R word, though. I want to be very clear here. I mean, is that a realistic possibility that, in fact, not having that money in circulation could, in fact, drag down things economically so far that it could push the country into recession?
This idea that this money will not be put into circulation, this $140 billion, then you're pushing it really close to a possible recession scenario. Recession means that essentially that the government does not grow and it contracts. The economy contracts over the course of a period. So, as these things begin to snowball, so if people don't get their tax refunds, they stop buying things, then companies get hit and they don't reinvest or hire new workers. All those things can kind of collide into a big economic mess. And I think we're anticipating that will happen in February unless all these things get resolved quickly.
You ran your campaign promising supporters that Mexico is going to pay for the
Oh,
wall,
here we
that
go
the
again.
wall was going to be made of concrete. You just said earlier that the wall could be made of steel, and right now our government is shut down over a demand from your administration that the American taxpayer pay for the wall. So how can you say you're not failing on that promise to your supporters?
Very nice question, so beautifully asked, even though I just answered it.
You didn't
Look,
answer.
let me
The
just say,
USDA has not even passed Congress
excuse me,
yet,
you
sir.
ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I just told you that we just made a trade deal, and we will take in billions and billions of dollars, far more than the cost of the wall. The wall is peanuts compared to what the value of this trade deal is to the United States. As far as concrete, I said I was going to build a wall. I never said, I'm going to build a concrete. I said I'm going to build a wall. Just so you don't, because I know you're not into the construction business, you don't understand something. We now have a great steel business that's rebuilt in the United States. Steel is stronger than concrete.
President Trump is refusing to end the shutdown until he gets $5 billion for a border wall. The Democrats have a plan. They're going to make Trump wear one of the
Best protesters in France are back with a vengeance, and the contagion is spreading. The protest movement, sparked by a fuel tax, subsided during the holidays, but on the first weekend of the year, some 50,000 protesters took to the streets. They overturned cars and set fires, violent actions that Clear Energy Alliance.
blindfolds from Bird Box and just tell them there's a wall. Don't take it off! Don't take it off! Is there a wall? The president was asked about all the unpaid federal workers who are struggling to pay their bills, and Trump responded saying that he, quote, can relate. That makes sense. I mean, no one's more relatable than Donald Trump, right? He's just a regular working class family man.
So many programs affected by the shutdown. Turns out the government does a lot of things. Who knew?
including food stamps, subsidized school lunches, the EPA, the USDA, and the Smithsonian and National Zoo. And you can tell they're upset about it if you look at the National Zoo's Panda Cam.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders tweeted today that President Trump will travel to the southern border on Thursday, and what do you know? Mexico finally started building that wall.
As the partial government shutdown enters week 3 with no end in sight, we're getting a picture of how the fight in Washington could affect people across the rest of the country. If Congress and the White House can't come to a deal to fund a quarter of the government by February, millions of Americans who receive...
All right, what do you guys think about the shutdown? One thing I say, man, hey, you get a government job, you already know that shit be possible. That's number one. But number two, you'll shut down to get money to build the wall. Like, what the fuck? That fool wastes his time and money. Well, I don't know what to say about y'all damn president. I ain't vote for the motherfucker, but as bad as it may sound, sometimes I agree with him. Very rarely and seldomly do I agree with him partially. But most of the time I don't. And that's what be making me so mad is like, and that's me with almost anybody. Like, even the most racist motherfucker can say some shit that I be like, you know what? You're right. But that's like Trump. Like every once in a while, he'll say something that might make sense to me. But other than that, you motherfucker just blowing hot air, man. It's like, dude, just give it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? They thought Kanye West was sounding crazy when he went to go talk to Trump. That's how Trump sound all the time. I said I was going to build a wall. I didn't say I was going to build out of concrete.
Here's a video talking about The Simpsons revealing the future of America. A lot of videos already on YouTube that show all kinds of predictions that have already happened, like Prince, fake death This was a Simpsons episode that ran back in the year 2000, believe it or not, predicting Trump, because it was all planned out. This prediction could have just been staged, you know. These three individuals could have just staged this to make it look like this painting. That's not really significant. This is showing Trump at his funeral or his death. There was an episode a few years ago depicting the next president, a female, and it says, as you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it? Well, we're broke. So I assume that the stock market will be next to nothing, or America will be bankrupt. What I do find interesting, the next president should be the last president. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really does look like Hillary Clinton will be the next or last president. But, you know, it's depicting a female president, and I happen to believe it almost looks to nothing, or America will be bankrupt. What I do find interesting, the next president should be the last president. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really does look like Hillary Clinton will be the next president, should be the last president. And it almost looks like...
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So this is some conspiracy theory dude looking at The Simpsons. But The Simpsons is pretty accurate with a lot of shit. And like you say, there's a couple of... I watched one Simpson video. It was like 5 minutes long of all the things that The Simpsons predicted. And it's like, how in the fuck did they do that? So this guy is talking about some Simpson predictions in their TV show or whatever. But in his commentary, so he's trying to figure out who's going to be the next president. But he just said the next president should be the last president. What the hell does that mean? The next president should be the last president. Why is it going to be the last president? For what reasons? Has anybody heard that? The next president is going to be our last president? I've never heard this before. I've never even heard anybody ever say that before.
Or America will be bankrupt. What I do find interesting, the next president should be the last president. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really does look like Hillary Clinton will be the next or last president. But, you know.
And it really looks like Hillary Clinton will be the next or the last president? Dude, what are you saying? What do you know? The last pope? I'm not hearing the last about anything. Where is all this? This is the last pope. This is the next president is going to be the last president. Why? I'm about to go buy me $1,000 worth of canned goods and water. I already got a Geiger counter. I got charcoal filters. I got a couple respirators. I got some iodine pills. You know what I'm saying? Guns, ammunition, seeds. I need to get me a solar power generator. Josh.
What up, Joshua? Let's listen to this guy say this one more time, because he says it twice. The next president is going to be the last president, and then he says, yeah, it looks like Hillary Clinton is going to be the last or the next president. What? Already got it. Now, I'm do like my homeboy do and get a reloading station. That's the key. Because if shit shut down for a while, you might have to make your own ammunition.
Or America will be bankrupt. What I do find interesting, the next president should be the last president. And it almost looks like, I mean, it really does look like Hillary Clinton will be the next or last president. But, you know, it's...
One of the most well-known predictions in Catholic history is the prophecy of the popes and anti-popes that is attributed to St. Malachy. St. Malachy was a Catholic bishop born in 1094 in Ireland. He died in the presence of his good friend St. Bernard in 1148. St. Bernard said that St. Malachy foretold the day...
St. Bernard. That's funny.
Hour of his own death. St. Malachy was canonized in 1190, and a reading for his feast day mentions that he was blessed with the gift of prophecy. According to the 1913 Catholic Encyclopedia, under the title of prophecy, it says that St. Malachy was called to Rome in 1139 by Pope Innocent II. While in Rome, it is reported that St. Malachy experienced a vision of future claimants to the papacy till the second coming of Jesus Christ. St. Malachy wrote 112 short Latin phrases describing all these future claimants to the papacy, giving titles to both popes and anti-popes. The document was then reportedly placed in the Vatican's secret archives and wasn't discovered until 1556 by a Vatican librarian. The document was first published 39 years later in 1595 by historian Arnold de Wyon in a book called Tree of Life. De Wyon was assisted in his translation of the document by Alfonso Chacon, a well-known scholar of medieval manuscripts. Chacon was given the job of authenticating the document and making sure it wasn't a forgery. After examining the document, Chacon verified it as authentic. While God apparently showed St. Malachy the different men who in the future would claim to be the leaders of the Catholic Church, he did not necessarily reveal to St. Malachy whether these future claimants to the papacy were good or evil, and he did not reveal to him whether they were true popes or anti-popes. St. Malachy was simply shown the men who until the end of human history would present themselves to the world as the leaders of the Catholic Church. Furthermore, as humanity moved closer and closer to the end of the world, God wanted people in the last days to have some idea how close they were to the second coming of Christ. St. Malachy's descriptions of future claimants to the papacy usually include at least one or more of the following things concerning the claimant: his coat of arms, his family's coat of arms, his birth name or birthplace, or cities in which he would live during his life. St. Malachy also described major figures or events that would overshadow the reigns of some of the claimants to the papacy. As mentioned earlier, the prophecies of St. Malachy were published for the first time in 1595. There is a controversy over St. Malachy's pre-1595 predictions. Many believe that since St. Malachy's list was only publicly available for the first time in 1595. The predictions referring to pre-1595 claimants constitute no proof of authenticity. Moreover, some believe that since St. Malachi's prophecy wasn't publicly released until hundreds of years after it was reportedly first made, doubt exists about the entire prophecy. However, a good response to that objection can be found by considering a very important biblical manuscript called Codex Vaticanus. Codex Vaticanus is considered to be the oldest surviving copy of an almost complete Bible. It was originally produced in the late 4th century, but it's considered to be the oldest surviving copy of an almost complete Bible.
The oldest surviving copy of an almost complete Bible is in the Vatican's property. You will never have a Bible. Nobody has a Bible. Nobody, not even the Vatican, or not the one, not that they're going to admit. We have an almost complete copy of the original Bible. Nobody has a Bible. Everybody has versions of the Bible. Always remember that. Don't give a damn what book you read. It's always a version. There is no originals left. You'll never know the real extent of the combination of books, poems, and letters that they call the Bible.
Originally produced in the late 4th century, but its whereabouts were uncertain for more than 1,000 years, until it was identified in the Vatican Library in the 15th century. So Codex Vaticanus, like St. Malachi's document, was discovered at the Vatican after being lost for an extremely long period of time. Yet biblical scholars generally accept Codex Vaticanus as authentic, despite its uncertain whereabouts for more than 1,000 years after its original production. A far longer period of time than St. Malachi's document was lost. Nevertheless, since there is controversy over the St. Malachi prophecies before 1595, we will not consider any examples of his predictions that concern papal claimants before 1595, but only those after 1595. St. Malachi describes Pope Innocent X as, quote, joyfulness of the cross. It is very interesting that Innocent X was finally elected Pope on the feast day of the Exaltation of the Cross, after a long and difficult conclave. St. Malachi describes Pope Pius VI as, quote, apostolic wanderer. During Pius VI's reign, he traveled to Germany to confer with Emperor Joseph II. In the last 2 years of his reign, he was forced by revolutionaries to flee Rome. After a very difficult journey over the Alps, he died in France. He was definitely a wanderer. St. Malachi describes Pope Pius VII as, quote, greedy eagle. This pope's reign was overshadowed by Napoleon, whose symbol was an eagle. Napoleon's complete reign as emperor took place during Pius VII's reign as pope. Napoleon and Pius VII were continually in conflict, Napoleon ordering that the pope comply with his demands. After Pius VII excommunicated Napoleon, he was kidnapped and imprisoned by Napoleon's officers. Eventually, Napoleon formed an agreement with Pius VII that weighed heavily in his own favor. St. Malachi describes Pope Pius IX as, quote, cross from the cross. Pius IX was the last pope to govern the Papal States. He ended up a prisoner in the Vatican after the House of Savoy, whose coat of arms is a white cross, reunited Italy and removed Pius IX from his control of the Papal States. St. Malachi describes Pope Leo XIII as, quote, light in the sky. Pope Leo XIII's coat of arms features bishop to Rome. Francis is perhaps the only claimant in history who mentioned the title, quote, Bishop of Rome in his very first words to the world after his, quote, election. He was therefore immediately identified with Rome or in a particular way as a Roman. Quote, it was striking that in his initial appearances he repeatedly referred to himself as the Bishop of Rome, rather than emphasizing his role as an authority figure in the Universal Church. Also, Francis was the first claimant in history to sign his name in Italian rather than Latin in the Vatican's official directory. Italian is the language of modern Romans, which Francis happens to speak perfectly, whereas Latin is the language of the Church throughout the world. This is another example of Francis's emphasis on a particular local or Roman role instead of a universal one. During a press conference on November 25, 2004, future, God would not have given such incredible insights about future events to a believer and leader of a false religion. What is also extremely interesting is that St. Malachi describes Rome being destroyed at the end of Francis's reign. If correct, this fits perfectly with the prophecies in the Apocalypse about how Babylon, Rome, is destroyed at the end of the world. These issues are covered in much more detail in our video, Is the World About to End? This video contains stunning information about how the final claimants to the papacy fit into biblical end times prophecy. Therefore, if St. Malachi's predictions are correct, Anti-Pope Francis will be the last claimant to the papacy in history. So if 1,000 years from now we were to look back at the complete list of popes and anti-popes in history, Francis would be described as the one at the end of the world. Francis has been described in news headlines as the end of the world pope, or the man from the end of the world, because Argentina, the country he comes from, is geographically located, some would say, at the end of the world. Perhaps in a way of unknowingly fulfilling prophecy, Francis made the following striking statement in his opening words to the people after his election as anti-pope. That is, during his very first address to the world from the balcony.
Yeah, I don't know. Biblical prophecies. Motherfuckers been saying that shit for 1,000 years. That's interesting shit, though. So the Pope is the last Pope. President is the last president.
Hair like a swing, yeah, hey, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it.
A book from the 1800s predicts Trump will be the last president.
1890, author Ingersoll Lockwood wrote 2 books that highlighted with pinpoint accuracy our current political situation. Books are Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey and The Last President. 1896, there is an underdog that ran for president who no one believed he would win. On Fifth Avenue in New York, Trump Tower is actually on Fifth Avenue. Riots and protests all over the land as a result of his presidency. Secretary of Agriculture was named LaFay Pence. And Baron Trump, 1893, he lives in Castle Trump, and is a wealthy aristocrat guided by the master of all masters called Don to find Goggle Land somewhere in the middle of Russia, which is described.
The recent talk of the town has been Donald Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. This has led some to believe that God is using Donald Trump to expedite the second coming of Jesus Christ because they believe that Israel plays an important part in end-time Bible prophecy. I'm going to be discussing that in this video. But
all of this shit is Bible prophecy. I don't subscribe to the Bible. I think the Bible is not factual. I don't give a damn what copy or what version of the Bible you have. Yeah, it's interesting shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's interesting, like pondering the flat Earth theory. Like, is the Earth really flat? I don't think so. You know, is the Bible, is the end time Bible prophecies real? They're cool to think about, but I don't really think that's real. I don't think God is like talking to motherfuckers and giving them prophecies. That's like Edgar Casey and every other fucking prophet throughout history who foresaw some shit. And it was like, see, it was exactly as he claimed. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's so many lies that make me doubt all the true parts to it. And the truth is half-truths and has been lost in translation throughout the centuries. So the bits of truth that are there are so concealed and sometimes hard to detect it's just like hocus pocus and ghouls and ghosts and angels and a bunch of bullshit. It's a big fairy tale book, you know what I'm saying? But even a fairy tale can have some truth in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, is there going to be a second coming of Christ and a rapture and all that shit? I don't know. Earth is flat? I don't think so, bro. The earth is flat. Dinosaurs never existed. Like, some of that shit even goes a little too far for me. And I know you're not supposed to limit the concepts of what is possible. But, like, one of the most outrageous guys I listen to, and I've read a couple of his books, is David Icke. And David Icke is out there, like, with some of his theories on extra dimensional beings controlling us from the lower fifth dimension, and the moon matrix. Oh my God. And it's out there, bro. But even David Icke thinks that the earth is a sphere. Like, how much research have I done on a topic? Have I actually done field research where I like rent a hot air balloon and, you know, try to go up 1.5 miles with a high resolution camera and film for myself? Or have I gone to a pier with some really good binoculars and wait for a ship to sail off and try to calculate how far I can see the ship out into the ocean before it should have crest over the horizon and things like that? No, I've never done field research. But as far as listening to people and their topics their theories and explanations on why the earth is flat, dude, I've probably listened to about 30 hours of this shit. Because I want to prove it to me. Prove it to me. Prove to me that the earth is flat. I listened to all the fucking 2-hour documents. You see how long I've been sitting in here? I've been sitting in here for 2 hours and 19 minutes. Bro, this is what I do. I research. I read. I fucking go to YouTube University. And shit I want to really know, I try to really know that shit. Nobody has been able to prove to me that the fucking earth is flat. After 20 hours of lectures, symposiums, debates, documentaries, and regular guys like you and I sitting down in their living rooms, it still doesn't add up to me. Because Elon Musk launched the fucking Tesla into space from his own private space company. Nothing to do with he is subsidized by the government, and he launched his own vehicle into space with a camera on it that shows that the earth is round. It was the earth is round, bro. You know? Nah, well, okay, well, you're gonna have to first of all, you're gonna have to disprove to me that Elon Musk took his Falcon Heavy launcher and put a Tesla into space with a camera on it. You're gonna have to disprove that part first. Prove to me that Elon Musk didn't launch a Tesla into space. Disprove that. Because he had a camera, and up until then, I was kind of like, I've never been to space. You know, I haven't seen the Earth from, 130,000 miles out in space to see it for myself. I don't fucking know. But then a private space company shot a rocket up with a camera on it. Just because he can do that shit. Because he's smart as fuck. and the earth is round. Everything is a hoax on YouTube. Everything can be disproven, just like the same way they try to get Dr. Sebi. Everything is a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Hey man, you gotta prove to me that it's a hoax. You gotta prove to me that it's a hoax. I watched all the documentaries about flight patterns and how some flights you can't take a direct trip to certain parts of the country. I mean, certain parts of the globe from other parts of the globe. They always kind of reroute their fucking flight plans. I don't know. The biggest thing that I learned from researching the flat earth theory is that at most we haven't ever gone past the Van Allen radiation belts. I think that's the most thing that I've learned from trying to study that. Is the earth flat? I don't think the earth is flat, but I'm pretty fucking sure we don't do as much space travel as we claim to do. I mean, I see Teslas driving up and down the street every day. Teslas are real. SpaceX is a real company. The Falcon Heavy is a real launcher. He's already dropped the payload off to the International Space Station. So, and all of that is in low Earth orbit. So I kind of figured like they can probably do that stuff, but like going to the moon and all that stuff, like that's probably bullshit. If the earth is flat, find the edge. The camera showed the car in the studio. The footage I seen was a live feed from whatever service. It was a live feed of the car in space. But once again, you're telling me to do the same thing that everybody else does. It's like look up this proof, look up this proof. And you can always find proof to the opposite. I mean, you said you can prove it to me. I'm saying you can't really prove it to me. I read your last 3 comments. You said the car is in the studio. Look it up. You're not reading my comments. Dude, look at what I'm saying. You missed that SpaceX Tesla glitch. We gotta entertain one of the viewers, guys, because this is gonna absolutely prove for a fact that the Earth is flat, right? Damn, I'm so fucking stuffy, yo. Like I said, I've been working around kids lately. You know how dirty little kids. I'm just saying. I'm not saying nothing bad, but kids are just dirty. They put their hands on everything and put their hands in their mouth. Then they want to hug you like, oh, Mr. Travis. It is like, I think one of the little kids gave me a cold. I cannot fucking breathe, yo. Okay, so somebody showed that there's it does appear like the camera glitches out on the Tesla. That's not showing that the Earth is flat. I mean, what the fuck is that? And that doesn't prove that he didn't fucking launch a car in space either. I mean that shit doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that he didn't launch a fucking car. It shows something glitchy with the fucking camera. Okay. It looks like a little some light source or some shit glitch on the camera, and they're like, "Oh, it's not in space. The Earth is flat." Wait a minute, there's another one. Fake launch. SpaceX fake launch.
After the holidays, keep in touch on Android and iPhone with Google Duo.
You're welcome.
We want to take you live to Kennedy Space Center in Florida. There you see SpaceX founder Elon Musk holding a news conference after today's successful launch of the Falcon Heavy rocket. Let's listen in.
Yo, SpaceX is fake. Tesla is fake. I mean PayPal fake too, right? let me. I better check my PayPal right now. Make sure that shit ain't fake. The Earth is flat. I never think I really get somebody in here who believe that shit, that the Earth is flat.
I'm still trying to absorb everything that happened because.
But that's the thing, though, like,
to me.
Because you started with the Pope thing, and the Pope is, like I say, once you start getting in that biblical, religious shit, Bible prophecies and shit, like, the Bible describes the world as being flat and held up on the back of a turtle or some shit with a dome and a firmament. That shit sounds like some bullshit. But I mean, if you really into the Bible and all these Bible prophecies, you almost have to believe that the world is flat, and that's how you can have God. You know what I'm saying? Because, well, not the real God, but that's how you can have the God of the Bible, the personified God who created his nemesis, who tried to take his throne in heaven, and you know, it's so personified and have all these locations, and it's bullshit. So in order to believe the earth is flat, you have to believe in the Bible, and you have to believe in the God of the Bible. And it's really, really weird that people still believe that shit. Now, once again, like interstellar space flight, long distance space travel, going to the moon and all that shit, I think it's bullshit. But I do believe that Elon Musk does have a company called SpaceX that shoots fucking rockets in the sky. You know, they've been shooting rockets up there for a while. And he fucking shot his car in space just because he can do it.
Just a giant explosion on the pad with, you know, that wheel bouncing down the road. And, like the Tesla logo landing somewhere with a thud. Ever we would have shown that all three engines. Sorry, enough for something called TTAB, triethyl aluminum triethyl boron, that's used to light the engines. So slow the stage. That's just the blooper. But since they're not Block 5 or version 5.
SpaceX launches and recovers another rocket. Amazon refunds fake eclipse glasses. AI beats master of Dota 2, and more. It's Monday, August 14th, and this is Crunch Report. Yo, happy Monday, everybody.
fake launch. I mean, none of these are showing like fake launches. They're just showing their launches.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
Even when someone says to you like 100 billion stars, you're like, wow, it's a lot. But that number's not even getting in my head even after I've said it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that means. What does that even mean? That
They say
doesn't-
there's more stars than grains of sand on the earth. I mean, that's what blows me away. 'Cause, I mean, you just look at a jar of sand.
Yeah, and those are giant balls of fire, maybe more than 1 million times bigger than Earth, just floating in the sky.
So we could see at the eclipse, they had a little observatory, like all the colleges and stuff were there where we were at, and you could see. You come back in like 10 minutes, and every 10 minutes come back and look through this one telescope, and you can see a star going around a star.
Wow.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah, I read something yesterday that Pluto is so far away that when the time they discovered it in 1930, it still hasn't made a complete orbit around the sun.
Oh, shit. How long does it take to orbit?
I don't know.
Probably a long time.
Long fucking time.
So, the funniest part is the kids are sitting there and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Can we eat some fucking marshmallows or what? Some
I
s'mores?"
used to play video games. Pluto's unusual orbit takes 248 Earth years for Pluto to complete one orbit around the sun. Its orbital path doesn't lie in the same plane as the 8 planets, but is inclined at an angle of 17 degrees. And it's not even a planet anymore. Woo! Yeah, mindfucker. There it goes. How about Elon Musk, that crazy asshole, shot a fucking Tesla up into space yesterday with a mannequin on board singing a David Bowie song.
Oh, there wasn't people on board?
No, a mannequin.
Oh, I thought there was
no,
other people.
It's a dude sitting in a Tesla Roadster that's like a mannequin, like it looks like a dude, and he's there. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Is this live right now? You can see it?
Yeah, the song's on a billion-time loop. It's going to play for a billion years.
Well, how's it possible? How does he have the battery for the song to keep playing?
He's got some sun in it.
He's lying. He's lying. The guy's lying. These batteries run out of. You just go 248 miles. That car runs out of gas.
Sure, explain this.
Wait a minute. I thought, dude, I thought he sent actual fucking rockets.
Yeah, there was an actual rocket, and a Tesla Roadster with a mannequin in it was attached to the rocket. So at the very apex of this rocket, as you know, the multi-stage rockets, they pop this bitch out and it goes flying through space. He shot a fucking car into space. Like, imagine aliens coming to Earth, and this is like the first thing they find. Like, what the fuck is this? Is that a person? No. No. There's like the richest, craziest guy. One of the richest, craziest guys on Earth, one of the smartest guys, he just launches cars into space for a goof. They're like, these people are assholes.
You see a lot of rich people that maybe they just want to get richer. They just want to get richer or something, right? Like this dude's, how much money is he blowing on this shit? It's
just made on Earth by humans. I think he blew $100 million to do this. Click on that link of the image of the Tesla with the Earth behind it. Yeah. It's CGI, bro. The Earth is flat, man. Earth is flat, bro. That is just, what a crazy image.
Dude, I want to hear, I never talked to Eddie about that. I want to hear his real theory on that.
Eddie Bravo?
Yeah.
Don't talk to him about it.
Dude, I want to hear it.
It'll change the way you think.
It's got to change now. There's a whole video of this going from the bottom to the top.
No, it doesn't. It's not based in reality, man. It's not based in logic or reason. It's based
So
in...
he has no logic behind it?
He wants to think the Earth's flat. He's like, you don't know. He doesn't trust science. Doesn't trust scientists, doesn't trust anybody.
I mean, I get that, but you got to have some logic still to back it up, right?
You know what? One of the things that makes Eddie so good at jiu-jitsu is he has an idea to get a move on you, and he's fucking completely locked on that idea, and everything that's trying to shut that down is just like he needs to come up with a defense for that.
He's going to find a way.
That's how he looks at ideas as well.
Okay.
So if he has an idea that the Earth is flat or that there's lizard people that live under the ground, like it's like you got to prove. I don't know. You got to prove that that's not real to him. Okay. And if you can't prove that that's not real, and you say, well, look at these pictures. Oh, that's bullshit. They fake it. They faked the moon landing 6 times.
Yeah, you got to give me more than that. I wanted to hear his actual argument, but I didn't know it was that.
Sit down with him. I'll film it.
I wanted to.
I'll turn the camera on and I'll leave the room.
I went to his gym a couple weeks ago, and I'd always heard that he talks a lot at his gym, or kind of goes on about different
conspiracies,
things like that. Yeah. And I was totally prepared. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go here. He didn't do anything. He didn't barely even talk. We just rolled the whole time.
He's probably happy you were there. He wanted to show you some jiu-jitsu. He's a jiu-jitsu wizard.
He did. He showed me some good jiu-jitsu.
He just. I
like his system.
It's an intense system.
And the moves I only know so much, but the concept of what do we do at 99% of jiu-jitsu classes? You go practice some new technique you probably never did before.
And then you start rolling.
And then you roll.
Yeah.
And when we went there, we drilled. And this reminded me much more of like a wrestling style practice, and I liked it a lot. In that terms.
Well, that's why he designed it that way. He's a real jiu-jitsu genius. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, the conspiracy thing, I think he just enjoys it. He loves them. He loves it. He's always sending me crazy shit.
I'm afraid I'll love it too much, like once I actually have the time.
It's a giant distraction. If you think Instagram is a distraction, go try to.
That's the problem. I mean, you can't, there's no website, maybe there should be, where you can just go on and say, okay, this is what this side believes about it, this is what this side believes about it, and you make up your own mind. You gotta dig through fucking InfoWars every time. And of course, like if you try to tell someone, well, dude, it's true, it's said on InfoWars, they're like, okay, right, you're full of shit.
There's a few websites like that, right? Like the Daily Mail. You read on the Daily Mail here, get the
like the Radar or something like that.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah. There's a bunch of weird ones.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
You think about all what we're doing for the Florida shooting and for these shootings, and with that David Hogg guy. Come on, man. That's what's scary, is that people are buying all that stuff.
Buying all what stuff?
The whole gun control propaganda. It's so obvious. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What do you think the gun control propaganda is?
It's really simple, man. It's like they've been you have to disarm the population, and that's what they're doing, inch by inch, trying to disarm. They used to say, oh no, we just want some restrictions and some background checks. Now they're just saying it.
Some people are saying to revoke the Second Amendment.
Yeah, they're tearing the Constitution. They're tearing the Constitution. Those four kids. There's a Constitution.
No, they weren't. That's not true.
No,
that's Photoshop. No,
it is. Okay.
Yeah, there's the original image that girl was tearing. It was like a target. She was saying we're not a target. And someone replaced that image with the Constitution.
Okay. But they're essentially doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Look, first of all, they're 17. They were at a school that got shot up. Their friends died. I get it from their point of view. If I was 17, I would think, and also they got cameras in their face, and everybody's paying attention to them, and the New York Times is interviewing them, the Washington Post, everyone's calling them up. If I was them, I'd probably be doing the same thing. You would probably too. If you were in high school with those kids and all that shit went down, I don't blame them by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even blame people that are trying to revoke the Second Amendment. The thing that infuriates me the most is that all people want to look at is the guns. That's all they want to look at. You need to look at the mental health of individuals that are willing to fucking shoot up a group of kids. Like, why? Why the fuck would someone do that? Psychiatric medications are a big one that if you bring up, people roll their eyes like, oh, this again. There are massive changes to the fucking chemical composition of your brain when you take these things. Yeah. What you're capable of doing, what bothers you, what freaks you out, what you don't give a shit about. When you got all these people that are on SSRIs and antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication and over and over and over again, when they test these shooters, they all test positive for something. The pharmaceutical companies do not want to fucking hear about this. They don't want to talk about this. Phil Hartman, my friend who got shot by his wife, she was on Zoloft. They got a settlement from Zoloft. The family got a settlement from Zoloft after she fucking shot him in the head while he was sleeping. Yeah. There's a lot going on. It's not just guns. Yeah. It is crazy that fucked up kid could get guns. It is crazy. It's crazy that the FBI went to his house 2 years before, but what can you do? Did you hear about that kid that they just stopped in China, the Chinese immigrant kid they're sending back? His roommates in college were saying this fucking guy's stockpiling guns. The cops went to visit him. He went out and bought another gun. And he's talking all kinds of crazy shit. And everybody's nervous about him. Like, he's a fucking shooter ready to happen. Stopped going to class. And that's how they sent him back. Because he's on a student visa. You can't not be in class. This kid was like gearing up. He was gearing up. And maybe they caught it before it happened. And maybe they wouldn't have, like 2 years ago when they interviewed this the kid from Parkland.
Now, the strangest thing about that Parkland shooting is the interview one of the teachers did on ABC. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's like, she said, I have the video, I could send it to you, Jared. It's less than a minute. She says, I opened up, I heard shots, opened up the door, all the kids ran in, they hid behind their desk, and there I saw the shooter 20 feet away from me. But at first, I thought he was a policeman. I'm like, what is the police doing here? He had full body armor, a mask on, a helmet on, and was shooting. I was like, what are the cops doing here? That is the strangest video I've seen.
Was it possibly someone shooting at the kid?
That's not what she said. She said she saw the shooter. That's
right, but I mean, how long was she watching for? Right? If you're like looking out the window, you see someone that's shooting someone, or shooting a gun, or even holding a gun. First of all, you have to realize that people in those traumatic situations, their memory is very fucked up. It's very shaky. Your brain's flooded with adrenaline. You remember, you're open to suggestion. People can put things in your head, and you all of a sudden think that was a real memory that you saw. There's been like scientific studies on that, and about suggestive memory, and about someone can literally, especially during periods of great duress, they can introduce ideas into your head, and you will tell those ideas hours later, days later, as your own. And you don't even realize that they put them in your head. It's real weird. Memory in traumatic situations like gun shootouts and shit like that is haywire because you're working on that reptilian part of your brain. You're down to the lowest level. Like, my friend Steve Ranella got attacked by a grizzly bear. He was in a Fognak Island. It's a crazy podcast. Him and these other guys, they had killed an elk, and they were packing this elk out, and they left the elk by the tree while they were at their camp. Then they went to go back, and a bear had claimed the elk. And this bear rushed them, and he was like, one of the ways he described it to me is like, you have an idea in your head of like what like an animal instinct is like. And he goes, I'm telling you, this goes way deeper than that. This goes
We got a stark warning today. A report says that the U.S. has lost its military edge and could lose a war against China or Russia.
Your values of love, charity, and faith built this nation.
You're in the Air Force, right?
Marines, actually.
How long are you here for?
A few weeks.
30 seconds left. Just get us in field goal range.
I have a full faith in our intelligence agencies.
What is today's date? The 18th. I gotta get a bunch of other stuff done. I need to clean some more paintings. I have to make a zip file so I can get some hang tags printed out. There was something else. Oh, I need to submit some art to this other show. My main thing is cleaning some more of these paintings today because I have several and they need to be ready for First Friday. What time is it? It's already lunchtime. I think I might break, man, and go grab something to eat. And then clean some more paintings. After I do that,
I don't know. I may come back in here, but if I don't come back in here today, I'll definitely do some painting tomorrow. If I can get enough of these paintings cleaned today, I won't have to worry about it in the next couple of weeks. So, all right. And I need to find something for this congestion. Jesus. Yo, appreciate everybody chilling with me today, hanging out. Didn't get anything done on the canvas, but we did get some paintings clean. We had a really interesting conversation. I was almost tricked into believing the earth is flat. It was a close one. And that was about it. It was a pretty simple morning today. Pretty simple morning, you know, mostly just relaxing and chilling. But some ginger lime, cayenne, and honey. All right. Jesus. I'm gonna have to do something. Let me say, man, them little kids got me with their little German germs. But let me get up out of here. Once again, guys, appreciate the company. If I'm not back in here this afternoon, definitely catch me again tomorrow morning around the same time. And peace. Until next time.